Peace, y'all. It's your boy Zulu King, Street Fame 47, man. Y'all know what it is, man. So I told y'all yesterday I wanted to hit y'all with a story time, and that's what I wanted to do today. This story, I call it "Am I My Brother's Keeper?" This story is not about me. It is a friend of mine that is in a situation, and I reached out to him. He's incarcerated, and I asked him if I could do this story. You know, I know he's trying to fight an appeal. You know what I'm saying? He has a life sentence, and I don't want to mess nothing up for him. But he gave me the green light, you know what I mean, to do this story, uh, to try to deter some of y'all young brothers out there, you know what I mean, that's active in gangs and think that, you know, everybody in that gang or everybody out there in that street and that street life that's tied to you is your brother. And I want y'all to pay attention to one thing what I'm gonna tell you right now. Remember, the first murder in the world was between two brothers. Be careful with people who use that word and try to get close to you, especially when you're making moves and you shining and you know you coming up and you bubbling and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that's gonna come to you and they're gonna love you because you the one right now. You the one that's shining. You the person to be around. You is Timothy, and they want to be around you. So this is my brother, and I love him. Be careful for them people, man. Nobody could hurt you more than the person that's closest to you. You know what I mean? With that being said, man, I have a young brother by the name of Nova Noriega. You know what I'm saying? Nova Noriega, he is from the west side of Orlando. I'm from the east side of Orlando. Nova had a battle going on. His crew had a battle with some niggas from the east side, from my side. You know what I'm saying? But them niggas, I don't really fuck with them niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? One of them niggas is a rat too. You know what I mean? So they had the little rat beef, which was dope. You know what I'm saying? He was a young bull back then. He used to be at my homeboy's barbershop all the time. Money Inc. Barbershop, if y'all familiar with Money Inc. Barbershop over there on Lancaster, this is where the area was they was from. And I moved to that area and I met a couple of people there and all that. You know, I was in the dog game heavy back then, so I was always walking my dogs. And I met these brothers, you know, one of them is still a friend of mine to this day. You know, I look at him like a little brother, hard-headed, don't listen. You try to tell him everything, you know what I'm saying? I've been through all that, homie. You know, so, but, you know, cats be hard-headed. So when I was out there, I used to go out there and chill with them. They be on the corner making their money, you know, whoop-de-whoop. I already have been through all that. And at that point in my life, I was very active in the Zulu Nation. I was doing a lot of things in the community, you know what I'm saying, breakdance events and all that. So I would try to talk to these young brothers while I was out there with them. Excuse me, we'd be smoking, chilling, vibing. Because, you know, once you live that life for a long time, it's like you're addicted to that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like your drug addicts are addicted to the substance, you get addicted to that lifestyle. So I was outside with him, chilling, talking to him though, you know, and Nova was one of them young kids that I would talk to. There's a few of them, and I would tell them like, bruh, yeah, I think that, you know, right now you live in a movie, but the reality is when you get to that penitentiary, when you get locked up and you get, and people get pressure put on them, nobody wants to be in that part of the movie. You can't fast forward that. You know what I'm saying? You can't fast forward that part of the movie. So, you know, people are going to flip and turn on you. Your homeboy's going to try to fuck your girl. Your homeboy going to snitch on you. Your homeboy this, and that. And, you know, young kids, they're like, yeah. They think you know everything. But in this sad situation, this is what really happened, you know. So, Nova hangs around this kid named Rico. You know what I'm saying? And Rico will always say Nova was his brother, you know. And there was some situations that happened that transpired, like, you know, all kinds of shit. But I know there's always something funny about this kid, Rico. So Rico was kind of on some other shit, right? Like Rico, somebody gave him an ounce of boy. You know, an ounce of boy is 24 to 2,700 at that time. You know what I mean? They gave it to him for free. Now he was dealing with these people. There was a plug. This is where I think the story began for me, just from the outside looking in. But I'm gonna tell you the whole story, you know what I'm saying, where Rico caught his charge at and all that. But I think it stems from this personally because of the situations of the surrounding this case. So they get caught. So anyway, Rico met these people and they was giving him pounds for the low and he was making money with that, whatever. But they gave him a zip of some boy. And you already know that's like 24 to 2,700, depending, 22, depending on what you're dealing with. He said it wasn't all that, blah, 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 whatever, but it's enough to start a phone up. That's enough to get a phone jumping. Go out there, get some samples, get a phone jumping, and make some money. And all they said, yo, you can have this for free. Just come spend the money with us. Now a hustler is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's get this bread. That's how I would look at it. But a slime ball type of person looks at it the way Rico did. So Rico was like, man, I want to go rob these dudes. So dude just gave you a lifeline. Dude just gave you a lifeline for free and said, just come spend your money with me. And you want to rob them. So he rounds up a couple people. And one of them was another jit that I know, another kid from the area, you know what I'm saying, Sour. And a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? A Dominican cat and another brother that of theirs that was a Crip. Mind you, these are all rolling 30s except for the kid Sour. These are all rolling 30s. They're in the gang, and this is my brother, my brother, my brother. So they feel they tied together through this gang, and so they go out on this mission to rob the dude that just blessed them. When they get there, things don't go the way it's supposed to go. Some people pulled up, whatever happened, I don't know, shots got fired, boom, boom, boom. The young kid Sawa got hit a few times. They ran through the wall, broke a door down, came out the back. I think Rico went around the corner, picked them up, and they drove off. Mind you, the people that were shooting at them is behind them now. They go down a one way, they can't go nowhere. They're going down a one way, it's a dead end. They're not from this side of town, they're on the east side, but they're from the west side. Boom. They turn around, and now they have to pass the same people that's shooting at them. Shots ring out. They end up going to the hospital to drop off their other brother. I think his name was Chris, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but he was a Crip as well. He got hit, and he ends up losing his life and passing away. Rest in peace to that brother. They lost a soldier. They never hit the lick. They never gained nothing, but they lost. They lost a soldier. The young kid Sawa got hit again. He got hit in the face. He got hit in the arm. I believe he got hit in the hip. He got hit a few times. He was like 16 years old. The other Dominican nigga, he ain't get hit or nothing. And in Florida, when you do a crime like that and somebody passes away, somebody or everybody in that car is going to get charged with the brother Chris that passed away, the other Crip member that passed away in the car. They're going to get charged with his murder. So me and you go do a lick in Florida and somebody shoots us and you die, I get charged with your murder. And this is why I say I think this stems from this situation, because nobody got charged with that murder. So that's a question mark. So later on down the road, Rico gets caught with some work, and they're trying to give him some time. Now, mind you, this whole time he's like, yo, Nova's my brother, this and that, blah, 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 and all that. This, you know what I'm saying? Just that brotherly love that a lot of y'all young brothers think y'all find in a gang. And you would do anything for your homie. You would ride for your homie. You would die for your homie. You ain't gonna nobody play with your homie's name. None of that. You know what I mean? And he was always giving off that energy. They was like tight. It was tight, man. So Nova had done some time before. You know what I mean? He had done some time and he was out on probation. I think he had a split sentence. So he had to do some time in and he came out and he was on probation. He's trying to push his rap career, but he's dabbling in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to push his rap career. He's about to blow up, man. The kid is talented, man. And I loved seeing that his music, you know what I'm saying? And I love seeing a brother. I was in Zulu Nation. I'm all about hip hop. So I would try to, yo, bro. And my other homeboy, I try to take him to the studio as well. I talk to him like, yo, do that and leave this shit alone. Because there's nothing for you out here, bro. I done did all that. You know what I mean? So Rico gets caught with some work, right? Not a lot of work. Maybe it was. You know what I mean? Maybe it was. But he was only facing 36 months. 32, I've heard. So I'm going to round it up 36 just to say 3 years. But you was facing under 3 years. And Nova did a show in downtown Orlando. He did a show, and they got pulled over in the car. They had some choppers in the car. He had, whatever. Somebody had some guns in the car, and they threw some guns in the car and ran. And Nova was in the car. You know what I'm saying? And, they cuffed Nova up and they taking him. Nova take off running with the handcuffs on. That shit was like all over the fucking internet. It was a funny video of him running with his cuffs on and shit. So he ran. Anyway, he gets caught. Now he's facing time. A violation of probation for all these guns in the car. You know what I'm saying? That people threw that was with him and ran. And, I don't know if he had one or not. You know what I'm saying? But allegedly, there was guns in the car. And he gets charged with it because he was the one that was caught. While he's in jail, fighting that, I was in jail. I ended up in jail for conspiracy to traffic heroin, for conspiracy to traffic cocaine, and for sales and all that type of other shit. While I'm in jail, Rico comes into jail on a violation of probation. I did like 7 months fighting this case and all that shit. You know what I mean? And in those 7 months, Rico came and left on violation of probation charges 3 or 4 times. I've never seen that before. When I violated my probation, I fell under the Anti-Murder Act. And there was no letting me out. There was no bond, no nothing. Yet this man is coming in and out like a revolving door. So I'm like, yo, there's something up with this kid, bro. And I keep asking him about the case with the body, with his homeboy. And he's trying to say somebody else is snitching and this and that. But nobody's been charged with this murder. So while I'm in jail, I'm asking him, I'm like, yo, what happened with that case, bro? And he's like, oh, nah, this and that, blah, 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 blah. The cops told me that don't me snitching, this nigga snitching, blah, blah, blah. But nobody's charged with the murder, with your homeboy's body. One of y'all got to catch that charge. It's just the way it is in Florida. So Rico's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of jail. And one of those in and outs, he gets caught with some works, a couple of grams of some boy. And I believe it's the same work that them dudes had gave him for free. So for him not to do 36 months, he tells on Nova on an alleged case of a murder, allegedly. And, this is his brother now. This is my brother. Y'all seen him in his videos and his clips and these pictures I'm putting up. You're going to see them, in the background. I'm playing the videos and all that. He tells on him. You know what I'm saying? He tells on him. And he tells on him on an unsolved murder. And says that he did it, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So he catches him a life sentence. So he won't do three years in prison. He couldn't do 3 years in prison. But he was out there in the streets, ripping and running, doing all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? So if you ain't about that life, be real with yourself, man. If you ain't about that life, be real with yourself. Get out them streets right now. Get out that gang right now. If you can't do no time, because you going to do time. It's part of it. You're going to die. You're going to be in a wheelchair. Or you're going to do time. That's what comes with this, bro. And when you're talking to somebody that made it out of a game where a lot of young niggas die, you're talking to an OG that made it out of a game where a lot of young niggas died at, you should take heed. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be the story behind the wall. I know my homie Nove, he got a case, he's fighting it, he's appealing it. I don't want to say a lot. I'm trying to give y'all a brief of it. But his own homeboy that said it was his brother, Rico the Rat. Rico the Rat told on him so he won't get 3 years. I can't do 3 years, but I'm going to give you my brother and get him a life sentence. Nova just had a baby. Just became a father. And, to take somebody away for life, you took somebody away for life, so you wouldn't do 3 years? He comes out of jail, Rico the Rat, and he's hanging around some kid I know, one of my homies. I told you, like my little brother, hard-headed, don't listen. And I'll be like, why you got this nigga around, bro? Like, he's got a weird vibe to him already. He had called my phone one time, and he was saying, like, talking weird. I hung up on him, bro. Like, what, nigga? Nigga calling my phone, trying to talk in code on some crazy shit. Like, I'm like, what's he even talking about? I just hung up on him, bro. This nigga weird. And I told my boy, yo, what's up with him? But the whole time while he comes out of jail, look at how snake and bullshit this man is. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to get my money up to get Nova a lawyer. That's my brother. I'm trying to bring him home. I'm trying to get up. So you done told on this man. And now you out here telling everybody you trying to get money together to get him a lawyer so he could appeal his case to fight and come home when you the one that sent him up the road for life. And you say that's your brother. You know what I mean? So they was in the same gang, rolling 30s, you know. And you know, I used to talk to them like, yo, y'all need to get your nonprofit, get this and that, give back to your community. And you know, those are the conversations I was having with them, because at that time I was very active in the Zulu Nation, and I was doing a lot of community projects, and I was trying to get them to. I'm like, you need to take that gang shit out of what you're doing and do some shit in the community, bro, and utilize your brothers like that and teach them something different. And I used to talk to Nova and have these conversations with Nova all the time. Like, yo, you get your nonprofit, man. Y'all can go to these stores and get book bags for free. You could go to these stores and get food, and you could do cookouts and feed homeless people, or you could get book bags and pencils and all that back to school giveaways for free. But don't put the nonprofit under the gang, put it under a different name. But you can have your whole chapter doing here community service, because y'all was Crips and it's community revolution and progress. So this is what y'all need to be doing, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I would have these conversations with them and stuff like that. And it just like broke my heart, man. And he was trying to do his music and all that. When I found out that this fool done told on his own, talking about this my brother, this my brother, this my brother. And you sank his ship and got him a life sentence so you won't sit down for 3 years, man. You could have sat down for 3 years and been home, and he could have been with his kid this whole time. But since you can't sit down for 3 years, you want to get this man sunk for a life sentence, man. If you can't survive these streets and be in these streets and take what comes with them like a man, because when you out there, you made the decision to be out there. That was your decision to go to the streets and do what you did. If you can't take that hit on the chin, what comes with it, don't be in the streets. Stay out the streets, man. The streets ain't for everybody. That's why they make sidewalks. Stay out the streets. Very few make it out the streets alive. Very few make it out the streets without doing time. Very few make it out the streets without getting shot, stabbed. Any of that. Backdoored by their homies is what comes with it. You know, I named this video Am I My Brother's Keeper? Some of y'all got somebody next to you that's calling you their brother in the background, like Rico is in this video that I'm playing in the background. He's always behind Nove. If you watch these videos, he's always behind them. You're always going to have somebody close to you that's behind you, watching you, that's envious of you. When you're trying to be somebody, when you're trying to elevate your life status, when you have a skill, a talent, a passion, or something that could change your life and put you on a whole nother level, you're going to have somebody that's so close to you, so envious of you, so jealous of you. They're going to play like they're your brother. They're going to play like they're your friend. They're going to do anything for you, and they love you to the fullest. But nobody can hurt you more than that person. The person that's closest to you, that's playing that they your brother. Some of y'all got a nigga like that around you right fucking now, and you feel it in your heart, and you know what I'm saying. You got to get the fuck around them niggas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get from around them niggas, bro. I'm going to tell you like this. A real gangster don't need a gang. Fake ones do. The fake ones do, man. A lot of these gang members are fake, bro. A lot of them are looking for protection. A lot of them are looking for brother to hide behind. A lot of them are looking for somebody else to crash out for them. Yo, man, go do this. This person did this to me, because they ain't got the heart to do none of that shit themselves. And when they see you have the heart to do that, they take advantage of that. They stand next to you. They try to play up under you. That's my brother, this, and that. And they just want to sit there and point the finger for you to crash out and do something. So you could do all that by yourself, because if you that person, you're going to be that person without the gang. You still going to bust a nigga up without a gang, by yourself. So what you need a gang for? What you need a gang for? More co-defendants? More people to telling you? More people to telling you when a Rico act happens? I used to tell niggas all the time, man, y'all need to start a militia. Take the word gang away from it, because that's how y'all getting Rico acted. But legally, with the United States Constitution, you can start a militia legally, and you won't go to jail and get Rico acted. These were just some of the conversations I used to have with these young brothers. But like I said, it broke my heart when I found out young Nova caught a life sentence behind Rico the Rat snitching on him. And this nigga was out here in the streets. I seen him. I told you, he called my phone and some funny shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck, nigga? I hung up on him. He ain't called me no more. He already know. But you was out here saying, I'm trying to get Nova home. I'm gonna get him a lawyer. That's my brother, man. I love him. This, and that. And the whole time you playing in my face, lying, because you the one that set him up. And I ain't found out till I talked to Nova. I ain't found out he just set him up and told him. Because he wouldn't want to do 32 months. I rounded it up to 36. He didn't want to do 32 months in jail, in prison. So he told him this man, they got him a life sentence, away from his family, away from his kids, with no remorse, saying that's his brother. So, man, y'all be careful with people that say that's your brother, especially if you in the gang, man. If you in the gang, I advise you to get out. I advise you to get out. I advise you to get out the streets. The streets ain't what it is no more. These cats ain't built like that no more. These cats, they like that in their videos on IG and all that until that pressure come. When that pressure come and they locked up and they sitting behind them bars, they ain't like that. They ain't like that. They gonna tell on their mama, they daddy. They gonna tell on Jesus. They gonna tell on their homeboy. They gonna tell on everybody just so they could come home and you could sit there in jail and spend a life behind bars. But somebody that said they was your brother. It's a sad situation, bro. But it's a reality. And I want to thank Nove, man, for letting me talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all young bulls need to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check out my boy Nova Noriega's music. You know what I'm saying? I got the video playing in the background and all that. But y'all go check his music out, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, support. You know what I'm saying? Support. You know, he ain't done nothing in a long time because he's been locked up. But yeah, check his music out, share it. You know what I'm saying? And all that. But if you have talent and you doing some music and all that and you active in the game, man, pick a side. Pick a side. You can't do both, man. You know what I'm saying? Do that music and get out the streets. The streets ain't what it is. The streets ain't for nobody no more. The streets don't love nobody. There's no loyalty, no honor, no nothing no more. Everybody taking an oath that they don't live by. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Shout out to Nova Noriega for letting me speak on this situation. I don't want to mess up nothing for his court. So I'm not saying, you know, a lot of things. I'm just trying to brief y'all. But I want y'all to learn from this situation, man. I want a lot of y'all young niggas to learn from this situation, man. The streets ain't what it is, man. And the people closest to you will flip on you. It's either you or them. That's just life, man. It's either you or them. And they're never going to pick you. Nobody's ever going to love you more than they love themselves. You know what I mean? They ain't going to love you more than they love themselves. So love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be real with yourself. If you ain't built for that life, be honest with yourself and get up out of there before you turn snitch on somebody, because you ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't built like that. If you built like that, that's different, but you ain't built like that. A lot of y'all ain't built like that. It's just, excuse me, a lot of y'all say y'all gangster. You ain't a gangster until you be tested. And being in the streets and shooting people up and stabbing people, that's cool. When the other part of the movie comes and you got to go sit down and do jail time, prison time, that's where your test come in at. If you could do all your time and all that shit and come home standing on your square, then you a G. Now you a gangster. You got to do that whole bit, bro. You can't just be like, all right, now I want to tell. So all that shit you did in the street don't count, nigga, because you a rat now. Rico the rat. You know what I'm saying? So, man, God bless my homie Nova, man. I hope he come home soon. You know what I'm saying? I hope he get home to his son and his appeal go through and he get that case back. You know what I'm saying? But y'all stay clear of these gangs in these streets, man. Let this be an example. Like I said, I call this video and my brother's keeper, man. Y'all pay attention to the people that's next to you. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be the dude next to you that plays like he loves you the most, that's going to stab you on your back and telling you he knows all your weaknesses, your strengths. He's the one that's going to crush you, man. You know what I'm saying? So be careful who you have next to you. You know what I'm saying? It's your boys, Little King, Street Fame 47. Y'all know what it is, man. We all gas, no brakes. If you ain't going to be good, man, be safe. You heard? Boom, 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 boom.